In the last video, we spoke about why a personal brand is important. And in this video, we're going to learn about how to build a personal brand, or what are the things that go into making a personal brand. My name is Arnab Ghosh, and I've been a marketer for very many years, almost 20 years. And therefore, I've had an opportunity to watch up front people building their own brands. And a part of it, what you're going to hear now, is based on that experience. So without further ado, let me just jump into how to build your personal brand. So the first thing that you need to do while trying to build your brand is to build the foundation for the brand. And the foundation has to be built on authenticity. And why I'm referring to authenticity in this case is because a personal brand has nothing to kind of, develop as a base, accepting your own beliefs, your thoughts, your perspectives, your faith, your skills, and your knowledge. So that's the fuel which kind of drives a personal brand. So it is very important, therefore, to be able to identify for yourself three things. Number one is, what is the skill that you have, or what are the skills that you have? So that's number one. Number two is, what are the things that you're really passionate about? And number three is, what are your core values? What are the things that you really, really resonate with? And what are the things that you do not? So once you know this, and once you've identified this, then you can actually start building the base or the bedrock for your personal brand. The next thing that you need to do once you've done this piece is to identify what your brand is going to be all about. And here you come to four distinct things that you need to think about. And these are the brand vision, the mission, the message, and finally the brand personality. Now, let me just break all of these down for you so that you understand them better. When I talk of the brand vision, it is about what the brand is all about. What is the big story about the brand? What does the brand want to achieve going forward? What is the long-term thought behind the brand? So that's the brand vision. And if you're looking at the brand mission, then the brand mission is the steps that need to be taken, the missions that need to be undertaken to be able to reach the brand vision. So it's like an army. It's like, a group of soldiers who go on a sortie, and they're given a certain objective that you've got to capture this high ground. And, they do that. They establish their base on that particular piece of territory, and then others join them. And then they make, the climb to the next position and the next position till they reach the mountaintop or the peak which needed to be captured, which is the vision. So essentially the mission is about the small things that you need to do, time-bound things which you need to do in order to be able to go closer to fulfilling the vision that you have set for yourself. Then you come to the brand message. And the brand message is very important because it needs to be consistent with what your brand stands for. And once you develop that brand message, the tonality of the brand, how the brand speaks, what is it that it talks about? What is it that it's passionate about? Then, people identify the brand through the messaging that they see on the brand. It's very important, to develop a tone, a tonality for the particular brand that you have. So it can be irreverence at times. It can be respectful. It can be playful. So there are various ways of developing a message tonality for the brand. And the last thing is about the brand personality. Now, the brand personality is, if you were to take the brand as a person, if you were to consider the brand is a person, what kind of a person would the brand be? Would this be a person who's quirky by nature? Would this be a person who's serious? Would this be a person who's like a mentor, a teacher? Would this be a flamboyant person? Would this be a person who believes in luxurious living? So that's the brand personality. So if your brand was a person, what kind of a person would the brand be? So that's the question that you would want to answer when you try and craft your brand personality. And it's very useful because, the brand personality is, it gets, a direct reflection of how you are as a person. For example, if you look at Sir Richard Branson is known for his quirkiness. He's known for being fun-loving. He's known for his sense of adventure. And therefore, his brand, which is Virgin, is also known for breaking rules. It's known for doing things differently. And therefore, Richard Branson's personality has actually rubbed off on his brand. Similarly, if you look at Elon Musk, now Elon Musk also breaks rules, but he is not the kind of a person as Richard Branson. He's flamboyant possibly, but his flamboyance is in a more structured space. Richard Branson can be flamboyant in a very different way. Elon Musk can be in a very different way. And although Elon Musk will break rules, but more than that, he will be provocative. He will do things very differently. And therefore, the kind of things that you associate with the companies that he has is also similar. He will do things very differently. He will provoke reactions from people. And that's what his companies also stand for. So there are people who will swear by the Tesla, and there are people who will say, oh no, Tesla, it's a long way to really think that the Tesla is going to change the world. So it polarizes. He's a polarizing personality. And so that's what he brings to the table in terms of his personal brand, which translates into the kind of business opportunities that, develop because of his own personality. So that's about how you develop the 4 key things about your brand: the brand vision, the brand mission, the message, and the personality. So the next step is about finding or identifying your target audience. And that's a very vital step because, in the process of trying to build your brand, a lot of people make this cardinal error of trying to appeal to as large an audience as possible. And that is a big mistake because if you try and appeal to a very large audience, then you appeal to no one in particular. So therefore, the question that one needs to answer quite effectively is, who do I want to serve and how am I most equipped to be able to service their pains and frustrations? Now, if you can answer this question effectively, then you found your target audience. And one thing that you might want to do, which is counterintuitive, but it's something that you might want to try out, is polarize your brand. So the messaging that you have on your brand could polarize people. And the reason why I'm saying this is when you polarize the communication, there will be some people who are going to love you for it, and there's some people who are going to hate you for it, which is absolutely fine because people who hate you would always hate you. They were never there for you and they will never be there for you. You do not need to appeal to everybody. You just need the right set of clients. And if you get them, your business is all set. So, most important thing, therefore, the key takeaway is identify the right target audience for your brand. The next thing after this that you need to do is figure out the unique selling proposition or the USP of your brand. And the way to do it is to answer a very simple question. And the question that you need to pose to yourself is, how do I achieve this for my client so that they can do this? Now, a very simple example of this particular framework is if you were to say something like this: I help 20-something girls to lose weight so that they achieve confidence in their relationships. Now, what you're defining here is what you do, possibly in a time frame, which is always good if you can put a time frame to it. So I help people do this in this time frame so that they can, go ahead and do something or achieve something on their own. So that is your USP. That is your unique selling proposition. You have a solution for this set of people. And when you have a solution for this set of people, then those kinds of people will resonate with you more, because there is no one in the market who possibly understands their pains and frustrations as well as you do. And therefore, no one can provide a solution to their problems the way that you can provide them. So identifying your USP is one of the cornerstones of building your own personal brand. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about, which is also very important, is identifying the content pillars. Now, the strategy of content pillars actually comes from Gary Vee. So Gary Vee had put forward this, this idea of content pillars, where he said that, you have to decide for yourself what kind of content your brand is going to associate with. And even Russell talks about it, Russell Brunson talks about it, and he says that identify 5 different pieces of content that you would be putting forth in your social media, in your communication pieces, in your blogs, etc. These are 5 pillars of content which you resonate with, and they do not need to be all about your business. So it could be entrepreneurship, it could be a sport that you play and you're passionate about. It could be about personal development. It could be about books that you've read. It could be about travels that you've made. So these 5 pillars, or 5 content pillars as they call, you need to rotate this in your social media feeds, in the kind of content that you put out, so that when you have a large basket of content, then you attract different kinds of people. So some people might be attracted to you because of the content that you put out on personal development. Some people might come to you because you often comment on, say, tennis, and you're passionate about tennis and you write about tennis, and people like that, and therefore they come to your world. They join your world. So when you have different content pillars, it helps. And the other thing that Gary Vee had spoken about is that try and craft one large piece of content and then start breaking up that content into smaller and smaller chunks, so that you can use the same content across different social platforms. Now, how that helps you is that it kind of creates for you a uniformity in the messaging that you put out. Because since the content that you have created, the large content, the long format content that you've created, is based on a particular topic. Therefore, when you go out and break it up into smaller pieces, the consistency still stays because it's linked to the main topic. And now that you've broken up the content into, say, 10-minute videos, or you've made it into Instagram stories, or IGTV, whatever it is, the consistency still stays. It's just that it's broken up into smaller pieces. So you don't go all over the place when you try and put out content across your various social platforms. So that's very important, to be able to maintain the consistency of your brand messaging, so that wherever people encounter your brand, they see the same kind of messages. And So once you master that, it becomes far easier to kind of build your brand with your audience. So hope you liked these points that I made in this particular video. And it is important for you to be able to put these points into action while trying to build your brand. And it's not essential that you need to do all of that at one shot. It's not possible. It's difficult. So try and do it gradually, phase by phase, but identify your target audience first and identify the special gift that you have, which will help you to solve the problems of your target audience. Once you've got that piece right, everything else will fall in place. So I hope that you guys found the content interesting, and I had loads of fun putting it together. And till we meet again, stay inspired and see you soon.